Ito ang Broad Streamcast Communicators, ang naiba at kakaibang plataporma sa digital broadcast. Mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Streamcast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Streamcast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon. Buhay Online, chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Ating tunghayan, pakinggan at tuklasin ang mga pangyayari at kaganapan sa mundo ng online. Buhay Online, chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Alamin ang pinaka-latest trends mula sa trabaho at kung hanggang saan na ang narating ng teknolohiyang ito. At ngayon, narito na ang ating host, ang ating TechieMommy, si Jaye Bautista.
Hello everybody. Indeed, it is a happy Friday. Happy Friday sa lahat. Biyernes na naman, 'di ba? Napaka-bilis talaga ng araw at panahon. Parang kaka-Monday lang, nag-hello tayo dito. Friday na ulit. Right? And of course, for all of us, most of us who are working from home, it's a weekend again, but there's not much of a difference, right? Because we are working and from home. Pero yun na nga, weekend pa rin, no? Sa mga marami. At saka yun na nga, magandang balita, GCQ na sa Manila ulit. Tinanggal na yung restrictions sa NCR+. Pero, of course, proper protocols pa rin. Yun, restricted pa rin na, controlled pa rin yung pag-travel, right? Sa essentials lang, hindi yung mga socializing na pag biyahe-biyahe ay bawal pa rin. Hi there, Tita Agnes! Maaga ka! Good morning, Tita Agnes! Hello din to Tita Pri Maniago, Tita Agnes Lakap, the Maniago family there in the barrio. Hello to JM and hello to Laila. At magandang umaga sa inyo. Thank you for always supporting and watching. Ano pong ulam nyo today? Tita Agnes, anong linuto nyo? Kami, my beloved Jenny, ang ano namin po ay our ulam today, we have baked tahong, no pala, nilagang tahong. The tahong soup, I love kasi. Tahong soup. Tsaka we have chicken pork adobo. Niluluto ng aking beloved Jenny. My gosh, ayaw kong palutuin kasi ng aking asawa. Siya ang nagluluto ng aming meals kasi he's a very, very good cook. And yan po ang Friday na today, we're still on the subject. Of course, this past week and this whole week, we are talking about how we are surviving and thriving. 1 year after the pandemic, we're still all here. Yung mga negosyo na nag-survive ng pandemya, pinag-usapan natin kung ano-anong mga negosyo yan ang nagpatuloy nitong 2021 at kung anong mga pwedeng gawin sa 2021 at anong pwede natin magawa or how we can survive this pandemic itong taon na to, right? Moving forward. Tapos today, okay, we're wrapping up on that subject, but also we're going to talk about the future of remote work sa 2021, di ba? Kasi, yun na nga, most of us, a lot of people lost their jobs, but some of the big companies have transitioned into having the job or the work or their employees work from home. Yung mga call centers, a lot of businesses too, working from home. And a lot of businesses have been brought out or maraming mga nagtayo ng negosyo online. Yung mga nawala ng trabaho naman, naging mga entrepreneur. dahil nag-isip sila ng mga negosyo, at alam natin na ang home food delivery ay naging malaking bagay itong past year. So with tutoring, and itong mga nasalagay sa aking tutoring, online tutoring, home food delivery, yung mga restaurants na dating of course, yung mga pwedeng walk-ins, hindi na lahat din dinala na nila yung negosyo nila online. Because pati yung mga gardeners, nagkaroon ng mga planters para to keep yourself busy. Tsaka yun ang sinabi natin, three things. Kung sa isa kang negosyo, paano ka mabubuhay or magta-thrive sa pandemya na ito? Three things, right? Adapt to the needs of the consumers, right? I-adjust mo na yung produkto mo at services mo based on sa pangangailangan ng mga tao sa pandemic na ito, right? Lumakas ang negosyo ng mga medical equipment, or healthcare, or yung pang COVID-19, yung mga maskara, maraming mga kanya-kanyang style ng mga face mask, right? Tsaka of course, lumakas ang online buying na negosyo, ang Amazon, yung mga yan, mga Shopee, tsaka Lazada, lumakas ang kanilang negosyo because of pandemic. Pero yun, ang mga product line nila, they adjusted it. Depende sa pangangailangan ng tao. And of course, ang pinaka-importanting bagay is to go digital. People have gone digital, and mga corporations, companies, small business, SMEs, MSMEs, they have all gone digital because nga nowadays hindi na nagbabasa ng dyaryo masyado, lahat naka-internet naman, or di ba, kahit na prepaid man yung data mo o hindi, nakakatingin ka pa rin sa internet, nakakagamit ka ng internet. That's why ngayon doon ka makikita kung negosyo ka na gusto mo mag-promote ng sarili mo, online ka talaga, right? Buhay natin talaga nowadays ay buhay online, right? Our buhay nakasalalay online, the internet, right? Segue into the title of my show, Buhay Online. This is what we go through every day nowadays, right? And in this new normal life we're leading in this pandemic, importante talaga ang teknolohiya, importante ang internet. So, paano ang future ng remote work in 2021? First of all, okay, ano ang future? Ang COVID-19 kasi has taken its employee, kung paano naapektuhan ang mga empleyado in a big way. Eye-opener itong pandemic. Kasi according to a recent study, symptoms of depression, di ba, are 3 times higher than before the outbreak. Okay? Another pandemic report found that 70% of employees say that this became the most stressful time in their careers. Bisitahin naman natin yung yung mga na empleyado dito sa pandemya. Kasi ang one facet of this pandemic is yung ang effect nito sa mga tao, right? So dapat yung mga business owners should show support to their employees. Yun na nga, by una-una, making it comfortable for them to work from home, giving them the right tools to work with. Yun nga, bigyan mo ng computer. Kahapon, I was talking to my student, one of my students who's working from home. Sabi niya, 15 years na siya sa kumpanya niya. Pero luma ang printer niya, luma ang computer. Sabi ko, ang mga companies talaga, dapat, because we see this kind of situation continuing till after the pandemic, yung pag-work from home. Diba? Kasi pag in-analyze mo ng mga kumpanya, cost-effective pag mag-work from home, right? Effective din naman kasi of course, lalo na yung mga trabaho na kaya mong gawin sa bahay, pati nga yung pag-accounting, bookkeeping, yun lang nga. Kailangan mo silang pag-sign na ng mga waiver, ng mga confidentiality clauses, right? Or yung mga waivers or mga patent na whatever. Pero talaga namang feasible ang pag-work from home. Pero yun, intindihin nyo yung empleyado nyo. Make it comfortable for them. Because of course, when they're working from home, they're using their own internet. They're using their own electricity. Dapat yan sa Amerika, yung ibang companies ang ginawa nila. excuse me, dinagdagan nila yung sweldo ng mga tao nilang nag-work from home. Pardon me please, I will just take a sip. Yun na nga, make it conducive to working, right? So, ano ang future ng remote work itong taon na to? Sobra kasing historic ang naging unexpected tong shift sa 2020 job market due to the COVID-19 pandemic. While some companies used to offer the ability to work from home as a perk, nung araw, ano yan? Kasi nga, like I said, di ba, sa Amerika, matagal na namin itong ginagawa. Matagal na namin yun way of working. Sa Amerika, more than 10 years ago pa na once, kunyari, you can request for at least 1 day a month to work from home sa Amerika. Kasi meron nga sinasabi doon parang mental leave or psychological leave, so that you can balance your work-home balance. Pero, yun, matagal na yung gawain sa Amerika. Pero, nung araw, it was a perk. You can apply for it so that you can work from home like once a month or even twice a month. But now, this has become a norm, right? For most businesses, this has become a new normal. Sabi nga nila, no? Sabi sa Forbes magazine, by 2025, an estimated 70% of the workforce will be working remotely at least 5 days a month. While 2020 may be considered the year of remote work, it is just the beginning, right? Kasi sabi nga ng mga analysts, we see that this trend is going to continue. Ngayon, nagko-continue na nga sa 2021 and I think it's going to continue for years to come. Kasi nakita nila it's workable tsaka feasible, tsaka cost-effective nga sa ibang mga kumpanya. Like sinabi ko, diba? Yung kahapon, sinabi ko sa Amerika, nakikita nila, nakakasave sila ng average $23,000 per isang empleyado sa pag-work from home, right? So, yun na nga, yung nasa-save nila, dapat konti i-share nila man nila yun sa empleyado, right? So, remote work might become permanent. Isipin natin, the percentage of workers permanently working from home is expected to double this year, and it is already doubling up, right? According to a survey from Enterprise Technology Research, ETR, the productivity metric is proving that remote work is working. Totoo naman. It is. Sabi ni Eric Bradley ng Chief Engagement Strategist ng ATR. So we all thought that there would be some increase in permanent remote work, but we didn't expect that to double from the pre-pandemic levels. Come on? Dahil sa pandemya talaga, dumoble pa ang nag-work from home. Right? So kayo na nga, yung mga nawala ng trabaho, gumawa sila ng paraan, nakahanap sila ng way to work from home using the internet. Okay, so another recent Gartner CFO survey revealed that over 2/3 or 74% plan to permanently shift their employees to remote work after the COVID-19 crisis ends. Yun na nga ang sinasabi ng analysts, di ba? Yun na nga, yung mga big companies, as expected, like big tech companies, are already starting to do this. Twitter, based in San Francisco, told employees May of last year that they could work from home indefinitely. See? Ang nagbigay na ng salita ang Twitter sa mga empleyado nila. Square, isang company pang malaki, which is also led by Twitter's Jack Dorsey, adopted a similar policy around the same time and will allow employees to work from home indefinitely rin, even after their offices reopen. Okay? Si Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, sabi niya, he told his employees last May that many would work remotely indefinitely and plans to keep staff remote through the year. Okay? So, sinabi rin yan ni Facebook. Kasi, bakit? Kasi remote work means less office space, right? Yung mga iba nga sa Japan, nagsara yung kanilang mga offices dahil inisip nila, lalo na sa Tokyo na dumami yung mga infections tsaka Osaka, may mga international companies doon, they closed their operations there. I mean, their physical office. Tapos nilalagay na nila yung mga tauhan nila sa mga bahay magtrabaho. At bumalik sila sa country nila. and they're running the company virtually, right? And with the employees also working, hindi kailangan magpunta sa UK or sa Amerika ng mga empleyado nila. Pero yung physical office nila sinara nila, so that will be cost effective dahil wala ng renta. Okay? Si Mo Vela, Chief Transparency Officer of Transparent Business, he predicts that the need for large physical office spaces will gradually become a thing of the past. Yun na nga. Di ba? Nag-umpisa na nga sa mga pop-up stores, di ba? Hindi ka na kailangan magkaroon ng physical tindahan para ka magbenta ng iyong mga paninda. Hindi ka rin kailangan magkaroon ng physical restaurant para magbenta ng pagkain mo, right? Pareho rin siguro ngayon sa mga opisina. Completely remote companies with no headquarters will continue to form as other organizations decide to reduce their office space for hybrid teams or forgo one altogether to save on costs, sabi ni Bella. Tapos yung mga kumpanya are already taking steps, maraming kumpanya are already taking steps to this direction eh. Napupunta na tayo dyan. Dito sa Pilipinas din, I'm sure, right? Earlier this summer, itong past summer, outdoor retailer REI announced that it is selling its brand new, unused 8-acre corporate campus in Bellevue, Washington. See? Yung mga real estate, di ba? Binibenta na nila yung kanilang mga office spaces because in preparation for more remote workers, right? They're leaning into remote working as an ingrained, supported, and normalized model for employees. Many companies are also planning a new combination, diba, of remote. Yun na nga. I think mas maraming magiging combination like certain days sa bahay, certain days sa opisina. Tsaka, like sa Amerika, yung ginawa doon, right? Ginagawa rin yun because para mag-ease up yung traffic situation kasi kadami ng kotse sa daan. So, ibang employees working from home on certain days to ease up on the traffic. Pati yung oras ng trabaho sa Amerika, meron kaming, kunyari, ang trabaho mo lang 4 days a week, pero 12 hours a day ka. Like 7 o'clock in the morning to right? To 7 to 7 ka kunyari, pero 4 days a week lang. So, kung ako yun, okay sa akin yun eh. I'll have longer weekends. I'll take my weekend from Friday to Sunday or Sunday to Monday, yun. Basta, one day of the week, wala kang pasok sa office. Mas mahaba lang yung hours mo. I think, okay yun for some. It's worked a lot. It's worked well for most people, right? Saka yun na nga, naiisa pang traffic. Okay? Yun nga, yung combination. One strategy kasi might be having specific days for in-person meetings and collaboration, and then other days allocated for remote work. Yun eh. Pagka kailangan ka mag-coordinate, papasok ka. Pag may mga meeting. In-person meetings might be reserved for brainstorming sessions, diba? Introducing new projects, or team-building exercises. While remote days would be for work that can be performed individually, yung hindi ka kailangan ng supervision masyado. The office could be redesigned and reorganized by getting rid of cubicles, right? And creating more collaborative meeting spaces. Tama, tanggalin na yung mga cubicle kung mababawas naman yung presence sa opisina, right? Ano pa? Remote work requires more engagement. Meaning, sa isang office setting, a positive attitude and strong relationships open the doors to advancement, right? One of the disadvantages of working remotely is that it's more difficult to highlight professional achievements. Yun na nga kasi, dahil hindi mo masyadong mababantayan or makikita ang gawain ng mga colleagues mo. In 2020, this year, employees will need to put extra effort into amplifying their engagement virtually to ensure they have access to new opportunities, diba? In a remote setting kasi, mga empleyado collaborate mostly via email or yung mga chat rooms, right? Or chat groups. Engagement is much harder for workers to convey and for employers to identify. Yun na nga. So, magpa-participate ka ngayon dapat sa virtual events or you have to be active in online meetings and keeping the enthusiasm high. Chat with your colleagues. Meron kayong sarili nyong personal or private chat group ng mga taga-opisina mo, at meron din yung main chat group mo sa office, right? Where you can participate and engage at pakita mo yung involvement mo, right? The key is to keeping the enthusiasm high. Kailangan yung enthusiasm nyo mataas. Employees will be able to stand out as leaders while working from home. So, ang importante lang doon ay visible ka rin. Pakita mo na sumasali ka. Good morning, Jake! Hi, Jake. Kala ko hindi ka na darating eh. Malapit na ako magtampo. Haha. Hindi naman. So, thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you. Tapos ano pa? Remote work affects performance management. Totoo naman. Right? I'm talking about Jake. I'm talking Jake about the future of remote work itong taon na to, right? Ano ang nafo-foresee natin? Ang remote work will affect performance management, right? Kasi nga ang remote work binago ng performance management considerably. Bakit? Organizations will increasingly focus on work done instead of hours work. Kasi nga, ang oras mo sa'yo pag work from home ka, you know, ikaw may control ng oras mo. So, ano yan? Results-oriented, right? At the end of the day, bottom line is resulta, right? So, ang focus dyan is on kung ano ang nagawa mo, anong natrabaho mo, hindi kung however many hours you spent doing it. Making tools and apps to help manage remote employee performance is more essential, okay? To maximize yung mga employee efficiency, ang mga employers will need visibility over what workers are doing, right? Some examples of remote employee management tools include yung Time Doctor, yung Trello, na, na ilang years na yan nandyan, mga ganyan, sorry, mga reporting apps or software or applications, pwedeng gamitin Trello, yan, Time Doctor, Timely, saka yung Transparent Business. At some point, it may even be necessary to create a new job position, isipin nyo yun, like director of remote work, di ba? Isipin nyo, siguro magkakaroon na ng gantong title kasi siya yung mag-oversee dito sa mga remote workers, right? To oversee production and collaboration and ensure operational efficiencies, you have to have somebody to be on top of that. Thus, the creation of that new title. So that's a futuristic title of Director of Remote Work, right? Wow. Pwede ba ako mag-apply dyan? Some companies are also making performance reviews ongoing rather than annual. Oo nga, kasi mahirap yung annual, right? Continuous feedback will become essential as managers strive to help employees navigate their job responsibilities and meet performance expectations, right? Kasi nga, kanya-kanya tayong bahay ng magtatrabaho, yung mga manager nyo, hindi naman na kayo makikita like araw-araw na nagko-coordinate kayo, hindi mababantayan ang trabaho nyo. So, kailangan establish din kayo ng engagement online, right? Be active in those meeting rooms, be active in those chat rooms ng kumpanya nyo, right? Para ma-monitor yung mga tauhan mo kung manager ka, right? Some companies are also making performance reviews for ongoing rather than annual, like I said, because continuous feedback will become essential as managers strive to help employees go through their jobs from their homes, tsaka yung responsibilities nila, and meet performance expectations, right? Dapat natin, there should be a rethinking. Dapat nating isipin kung how goals are set, and we should be able to identify key performance metrics because this will be critical to managing remote workers in the new normal, right? So sa mga employers, yan ang importante, right? Mag-designate kayo ng tao na magpapastol o magsusupervise sa mga lahat ng tao na naka-remote, right? You know, you have perennial or regular Zoom meetings or group meetings and team buildings can also be staged online nowadays. Events can be made online nowadays. So, expected nila yan, iplano yung mga Christmas party online, right? Yun lang nga talaga, ang kanya-kanyang enjoyment, kanya-kanya tayong, gagawa nun para ma-achieve yung group effort, right? Ano pa ang future ng remote work? Well, remote work makes cybersecurity vital, right? Talaga naman, talaga. Now more than ever, importante ang cybersecurity, right? As organizations allow a significant part of the workforce to remain remote, cybersecurity plays an important role in this, and it's a must, right? Cybersecurity will become an even greater concern. Well, it already is, right? So, ayan ang concern ng a lot of the companies, right? Na kailangan na may confidentiality kasi yung mga nahahack ang mga, because naka-internet ka, you run the risk of getting hacked, information being stolen, right? And that's why cybersecurity is extremely important, right? A real concern is around how data is being accessed, right? And how to secure it effectively, okay? Si Jack Manino, CEO ng security firm na Visium sa Amerika, he agrees that organizations need to think more strategically about cybersecurity investments and how to best protect workers, the data, at saka ang equipment, right? The shift to remote work has prompted many organizations to make significant new investments in their IT systems and infrastructure. Yun na nga. Yun ang pinapagbuti. Yun ang pinagkagagastusan ngayon para ma-improve nyo yung security. Because it's really, really important. Kasi baka manakaw eh. Manakaw ang information, manakaw ang database, ma-hack, right? Ma-intercept. Yun naman yun talaga, right? Okay. So, while the shift has already happened for many companies and corporations, okay, the security debt created in the process has not been addressed in many places. Securing a remote workforce requires a different mindset and presents an expanded perimeter for an attack. Yun na nga, pwede kayong ma-hack pag naka-online kayo. Especially 24 hours kayo naka-online. Ako, it's happened to me many, many times, right? Na-hack ang ATM ko, na-hack ang email ko. Kasi nga, yung buhay ko online eh. Yun na nga, pati buhay ko nabulat lang online. But that's the thing, you have to talk about security in the workforce, right? Cyber security. The COVID-19 pandemic has proven that we can work from home, right? And do it effectively. And it's very feasible because it could be efficient, right? You could make technology work for you and help you be efficient in your work from home journey, right? In a survey by Mercer, MERCER, an HR and workplace benefits consulting firm, okay? HR and workplace benefits consulting firm ang Mercer, 94% of employees said productivity was the same or higher even than before the pandemic. Totoo yan, right? Because truth be told, again, as I tell you, of course, I thank the Lord for this continued provision, but I now have more work than I ever had before the pandemic. Exactly. I mean, the amount of money that I earn depends on how much work I can handle. And in this case, sobrang sagad na I work 12 to 14-hour days, right? If you just want to be greedy and earn so much, I could be working 24 hours. But no, I shouldn't do that. Nga, my Christian values din, hindi mo dapat mahalin yung pera at yung kung papatayin mo naman din yung sarili mo sa kakatrabaho. So yung sakto lang, right? Right? But that's true. I have more projects now. I have more jobs to do now than before the pandemic. Hindi ko na nga alam. Itina-time manage ko muna nga sila because ayokong pagsabay-sabayan din na baka ma-overwhelm na ako at may burn out, right? So for most companies, having employees work outside the office will require reinventing many processes and policies. The question is, will the benefits outweigh the drawbacks? Diba? Panahon lang makakapagsabi niyan kasi anong benefits ng working from home, dapat ayusin na yan. Oh, well, in fairness to Duterte, na-mention niya last year or the year before na dapat daw ang mga work from home employees will have the same benefits as those working in the real office. Sa tinitignan natin ngayon na situation, mukhang dadami pa yung work from home. So, dapat lang na may beneficyo na rin ang mga nag-work from home. Like me, I put in at least 8-hour days, right? From the home, doing one thing. But hindi pa yan doing other things, right? So, so 8 hours and some I devote to working. Let's say 12 hours. That's what I devote to working every day, right? So, the future of remote work will require many changes, including investing in digital infrastructure and freeing office spaces, right? Kasi nga, for most companies, having employees work outside the office will require reinventing many processes and policies. Kailangan tayo mag-adjust, right? Kasi, these people, of course, not only need jobs, but then we need them to make our business thrive and to become more efficient, right? But, okay. So, how do we turn around our businesses in this pandemic, during this pandemic? We've already given you those tips, right? Kasi nga, many local venues and community hotspots have had to shut their doors, right? With 23% of small businesses reporting temporarily closing their business entirely since the start of the COVID-19. Some of those companies or restaurants or businesses, unfortunately, were not able to make it through to this year. There are only some, of course, who made it, who continued on to business, still striving, but thriving. You know, some businesses were able to pivot kasi their model entirely and thrive during this COVID-19. According to CNN data, ano-ano to? Yung mga video game companies, sales are up to 21%. Disinfectant products were up, diba? 230% in March and April of last year. Ang Zoom stock, ayan, tumaas from 10 million from 3 million engagements naging 10 million na from 300,000 to 5 million to 10 million na ang gumagamit ng Zoom, right? Zoom stock went up to 120% last year. Okay? So yan ang mga naging result, right? So how can we survive in this post-pandemic? In our new and evolving COVID-19 world, unang-una na, what you have to do is, you will have to change the way you think and act, right? Like I said, do not sulk over what you've lost. Huwag mo nang isipin yung mga nawala mong trabaho, nawala mong projects dahil sa COVID-19. Ang importante is kung ano pa yung meron ka ngayon. I-appreciate mo kung nakapagpatuloy ka magtrabaho despite the pandemic. Say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And anong kailangan gawin? Kailangan pagbutihin, right? Para tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Like I said, you have to adapt to the times, right? Those who quickly adapt to the changes will survive and thrive. True, of course, right? People who naively act as if everything's the same will be lost. Yung mga nagsasalk o yung nag-aantay na sana bumalik na sa dati, walang mangyayari sa inyo kung ganyan ang mindset nyo. Diba? Appreciate what you have and think about new ways to move forward and to add to your income pa, right? Do not sulk. Stop thinking about what you've lost, okay? We are entering a time period in which you must be strong. You must be more determined. You must be more flexible, right? And self-reliant. Talaga naman. You have nobody to rely on but yourself, okay? Looking back on the pre-COVID-19 world, all right, ano yun? After being locked down for several months, some of us for a year, we had it, when we took up, when I think about it in retrospect, we still had it good. Thank God for technology. We're still able to fend. We had it made. In our hand or pocket is a smartphone that contains all of the information in the world. The average life expectancy is higher, and it's common for people to live up to their 80s, 90s, and even 100 plus years of age. My gosh, we did not expect this virus, right? We did not expect it at all. Okay? Sa Amerika nga, America hasn't seen an invasion on their land since August 24, 1814. There's plenty of food and modern luxury conveniences of Ubers driving us around, Instacart shoppers buying our food. That's America, yan sila. Online purchases of whatever we need to want. Oh, well, nag-apply na rin sa atin to because yan ang on the rise, right? Online services, okay? Or purchases of whatever we need or want on Amazon, and it could be delivered the same day while having the ability to sit on our cushy couches, choosing from a wide variety of entertainment streaming services. Okay. Sabi nila, it said that good times make weak people and tough times make tough people. Totoo naman. Sabi nga nila, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, right? It seems that we became soft, complacent, and entitled to the latest cool technologies and gadgets that make our lives easier. Yun ang problema, na naging dependent din tayo sa mga gadgets natin, right? Today, some of us are waking up to the reality that life may not be comfortable as it used to be. Well, tanggap ko na to, right? Isang taon na, more higit ng isang taon. Hindi mo pa rin tanggap, right? Wake up and smell the coffee or wash your face. This is our new reality. This is our new normal. You're asking, for prayers na matapos na itong pandemya. Of course, this will come to an end, but not right now. We don't see this ending soon, okay? Unang-una, distribute pa lang yung vaccine, hindi pa lahat na babakunahan, right? So, it will be hard, stressful, and filled with anxiety and uncertainty. Because, panay ang diskusyon sa gobyerno, panay ang ganyan. Pero, it seems to be still moving, okay? The virus is still spreading. Okay? Tapos sawa na rin tayo sa mga politician na panay ang pangako. It's all pako, right? So, in America nga, businesses laid off millions of Americans after promising that they wouldn't. Kasi siguro tinesting nila first 2 months and realized, oh my God, we're at a loss. So, you should control and stop the bleeding by moving out, right? Over 65 million people have filed for unemployment since the pandemic started, okay? So, do you have any questions? All right. So those who have questions, please feel free lang to message me here on Facebook and also on my personal messenger. Okay, ang init-init, grabe. Nakakatunaw yung init, nakakahilo. Dahil yung aircon ko, nasa taas yung mga aircon dito sa sala, hindi pa nakakabit, please. I'm going nuts. I'm going crazy with this heat. Okay, so this is the future of remote work, like I said, right? So, what the post-pandemic workplace? What does the post-pandemic workplace hold for remote workers' careers, naman, right? Paano yung mga career? What does the future hold for remote workers? And what will post-pandemic workdays look like? Back to the office, working from home, or a hybrid? While the light at the end of the tunnel seems within reach, malayo pa talaga, companies across the globe are scrambling to create the future workplace. One way to predict the future of work is to understand people's remote work experiences over the last year. And based on recent reports, one thing is clear: remote work has left an impression, right? Yung LimeAid Institute Employee Care Report 3.0 found that 100% of formerly on-site workers said they're anxious about returning to the office. 71% said they were concerned about less flexibility, and 77% said they were worried about exposure to COVID-19. Okay, so ano pa ang future ng remote work dito para sa atin? Is the preference for remote work. Yung flex jobs, yung sinasabi ko parang Upwork, flex jobs, yung hanap pa ng trabaho, freelancer.com. Si Flex Jobs ran a survey of more than 2,100 people who worked remotely during the pandemic. Okay? Uh, from March 17, 2021 through April 5, 2021. Ito, kinonduct tong survey na to. Very recent. Okay, last month. They found out that not only do employees want to remote work after the pandemic, 58% said they would absolutely look for a new job pag di raw sila pinayagan magtrabaho sa bahay. This is based on the Flex Jobs survey. Okay? Nagpa-FBG sila siguro. So, 58% said ayaw, hanap sila ng ibang trabaho kung hindi sila pinayagan mag-work from home. Right? Plus, 65% naman want to work remotely full-time bago nag-pandemic, and another 33% prefer a hybrid work arrangement. A hybrid work arrangement is a combination of working from home at pumupunta ng ibang araw sa opisina. Like you mentioned natin earlier, nagagawa na yun sa Amerika matagal na. Tsaka makakatulong talaga yun sa traffic, right? Top concerns of returning to the office include COVID-19 exposure, okay, less work flexibility, and worse work-life balance, right? Some other top-level findings include 55% say their productivity increased while working remotely, while 33% say it stayed the same. Okay? Tapos, ano pa? 30%, okay? Teka ha? 30%, kunin na nga natin to at pakita ko sa inyo. Para mas malinaw, right? Para mas malinaw. Sandali lang. Okay, let's get it on here. I will show you na nga what I'm reading. Okay. The data that I gathered. Okay. Para mas maintindihan natin, mas mabuti yung kita. Alright? Just bear with me a bit while I play with this alright. Okay, I'll just get it. Please wait for me. Bear with me lang. I'm just gonna get this graphic about the future of remote work. Okay. Uh-huh. So, where are? Where did it go? Hi, sorry. There you go. I got it. Okay, there you go. Okay. So here's what we're talking about. All right. Kita nyo ba? Sige, tatakpan ko na nga yung mukha ko. There. There you go. See, as I was saying, 55% say their productivity increased while working remotely, while 33% said it stayed the same. Ang nagpa-survey nito ay ang flex jobs, yung mga, it's a job marketplace ang flex jobs, right? Tapos 30% say their ability to collaborate has improved in a virtual environment compared to a traditional office. Talaga, yeah, kasi medyo yung hiya, di ba, nawala ng konti kasi nasa comfort zone na ikaw ng bahay. So nakakapag-speak up kang mas mabuti kesa pag nasa workplace ka na face-to-face, right? So sabi ng 30% is yung nag-improve daw yung kanilang ability to collaborate compared to a traditional office. 1/3 say ano ba yan, nabubulal ako. A third says their ability to collaborate has suffered, 33%, and another 1/3 say it has been unchanged. Okay? Cost savings, tama, totoo yan. Cost savings is listed as the second top benefit of working remotely. Di ba sinabi ko na yan kanina, sinabi ko na yan kahapon, sinabi ko na ulit, na cost-effective yan. Kung ikaw is isang isang opisina or corporation or company, it will, big savings sa'yo yan. Unang-una na, kung wala na yung office, at unang-una na, yung elektrisidad, pero yung internet, pero ibigay nyo naman share nyo naman yung na-save niya, no? Yan, sa empleyado nyo by giving them better tools to work with. I-upgrade nyo kung luma na yung laptop or whatever. Bayaran nyo yung internet or i-share or shoulder half of the internet fee because most of the time, lalo na yung mga full-time, 8 hours a day they devote to using their personal internet for work, right? So, dapat lang, tama lang yun na i-compensate yung mga empleyado nyo in that way. Dagdagan nyo yung sweldo nila to cover electricity and internet costs, right? Kasi nga, cost savings, ito para sa mga kumpanya, right? 75%, di ba? Sabi nila, it's listed as the second top benefit of working remotely, 75%. Second only to not having a commute. Tama. Kasi ang sa iba, yun ang unang-unang plus ng bakit nila gusto mag-work from home is the commute. So people don't have to drive to work and use gas, right? Or take a train or a bus, all right? So, and 38% estimate they save at least $5,000 a year from remote work. See, ayan, $5,000 a year, yung mga part-time. Pero yung sinabi ko kahapon, based on another survey that I forgot the title, is 23,000 daw ang nasa-save sa isang empleyado a year. Malaki, right? Not having to travel or drive to meetings, okay? 75%. Ayan, sabi ng natuwa sila na hindi sila kailangan mag-drive to meeting, 75%. Tapos, wearing comfortable clothing is 58%. Like, hindi ka na kailangan mag-shopping masyado sa damit para, pero yung iba kasi may uniform, so menos sa kanila yun. Pero yung sa mga hindi nag-uniform, menos gastos din daw kasi hindi ka na kailangan bumili bago palagi. Or pwede kang, yung sapatos mo hindi naman kita. So you can wear chinelas while working. And 38% estimate they save at least nga 5,000, right? Okay? So not having to travel, 75%. Wearing comfortable clothing, 58%. The ability to mute, 55%. Right? Buti nga. And more scheduling flexibility. Ayan ang importante sa akin is the scheduling, the time management, right? And the productivity. Tapos 51% were the top favorite elements of video meetings, all right? 86% engaged in some kind of professional development during the pandemic. Okay? So, ano pa? Tuloy-tuloy kasi ako magsalita. 50% like video meetings versus 14% who dislike them. So, mas madami yung natuwa sa video cam meeting or face-to-face on the camera, not in person, okay, meetings, right? Okay, so 50% like video meetings versus 14% who didn't like them, all right? And the last one, 37% would consider relocating if they had permanent work. Tama, right? Dahil yung mga iba, gusto na nila yung working from home, right? So, ano-ano pa? Meron pa pala, 70% do not think, sabi ng survey ng Flex Jobs, 70% do not think working remotely during the pandemic has had an impact either way on their chances of promotion and advancement. Right? I think hindi nga, right? Unless na yung trabaho talaga hindi napansin or nireview ng boss mo. More than half of remote workers have a specific home setup, right? 24% have an actual home office, and 34% have created a dedicated home office space. Pwede ka mag-create ng iyong own virtual space. You know, dyan sa corner ng bahay nyo or sa labas, sa yard, depende sa inyo, right? Very good. So more than half of the remote workers have a specific home office setup na kasi. Di ba? Kaya nga rin lumakas ang benta ng mga office chairs or ergonomic tables. Ako meron akong ergonomic table, wala pa akong chair na tama, kaya sumasakit pa ng likod ko. So yung bentahan ng mga ganun lumakas din, right? In the past year, okay? 9 out of 10 remote workers spent money on their home office in 2020, right? So, yan. 9 out of 10, ha? Diba? Spent money on their home office. Yeah. 42% spending between $100 to $500 while 12% spent more than $1,000. Okay, all right. So what about dealing with technical and software issues? Well, screens freezing, poor audio, ayan. Pag ganyan ang setup mo sa bahay, mag-ano ka na, scream bloody murder to your boss, alright? Because 58% nun, nagreklamo ng ganon. Alright? So, it is the primary pain point, okay? With video meetings, video fatigue, reading nonverbal clues, and background distractions follow, okay? So, ano pa ang foresee natin dito sa future ng remote work in this pandemic? Overwork, unplugging, all right? 35% of this. It is the biggest challenge for remote workers. Dealing with non-work distractions, troubleshooting technology problems, and reliable Wi-Fi. Yan ang mga main points. Okay? Dahil na-frustrate ka pag mahina o bigla namamatay-matay yung internet mo, right? So, you have to deal with non-work distractions. So I guess, this is what you have to do, right? Overwork unplugging, okay? Ease up on the work. Don't stress yourself too much, okay? All right? So sabi ng CEO ng FlexJob, si Sarah Sutton, I am not surprised to see that more than half of people working remotely during the pandemic, even under the strained and unusual circumstances. Oh, she's saying that she's happy to see the pictures. I didn't see her. Okay. All right. Sarah Sutton said, the landscape of remote work has permanently changed as a result of COVID-19, and its impact will be felt in the job market and workplace well into the foreseeable future. Right. Okay. So going back, ayan. So sinabi natin, we are already expecting this kind of situation to continue even post-pandemic, right? So thus mag-proliferate din yung mga hybrid o yung mix, okay? Some days they work from home, some days they work outside to the offices, all right? So sabi ni JLL Human Experience Survey of 2000 global office workers are affected, right? The current crisis is forcing companies to decouple traditional work and work styles from the corporate office. 66% of employees expect to work in a hybrid model. Diba? Companies like Microsoft and IBM are hedging their bets on long-term hybrid, uh, you know, long-term hybrid employees, right? Okay, so Microsoft and IBM are hedging their bets on long-term hybrid models to satisfy employee demands for flexibility, but prioritizing mental health and wellness will also be critical to appease the new workforce. Kaya na nga, adjust your products to the needs of the people. And now, there's going to be hybrid people, which are people who are working from home on certain days and working at home on certain days. Those are hybrids, okay? Okay. So, that is the future of remote work in a nutshell, okay? As I view it. Hold on. Diba? Ano pa? Ano pa ang kailangan natin pag-usapan right here is we already talked about how to turn around your business to fit the needs, okay? Today, okay, some of us are starting to wake up to the stark reality or the bloody or ugly reality that life may not be so comfortable, all right, as it used to be. It will be hard, stressful, and filled with anxiety and uncertainty. Watching our elected officials bicker like children and local petty bureaucrats make up confusing and conflicting rules that create animosities, businesses had laid off millions of Americans after promising that they wouldn't. Over 65 million people have filed for unemployment since the pandemic. See? So that wasn't me. Okay? Over 65 filed for unemployment. Ako na nga, hindi ako nakapag-file dahil mas dumami employment ko. Okay? Ano pang nangyari? Peaceful protests in a number of cities across the nation were hijacked by small groups of bad actors that brazenly looted businesses. America to. Enacted violence, created mayhem, and burned down buildings. Some of these cities, in response, discussed defunding or disbanding the police because of allegations of excess violence. All right? Okay? It's become a glaring, obvious, masyado ng common or masyadong obvious that, you know, the federal, state, and local governments, no matter the party affiliation, are incapable of helping us. The reality is that you are on your own, sabi sa atin. It's a daunting concept. We're accustomed to being safe and secure and relatively certain of the future. But, sad to say, those days are over. We are in a new paradigm. It is a throwback to the bygone days of early America. All right? Okay? So, ang importante in this pandemic is to become self-reliant. All right? Rely on yourself. You can no longer depend on any institution or others para tulungan ka to come out and rescue you. All right? You must develop grit, a thick skin, okay, dapat kapalan ng mukha at saka ang balat, and cultivate a can-do attitude. This means that you don't need to have perseverance, fortitude, resilience, and drive. It's to grow up and become unstoppable, all right? Okay? So you'll have the courage, and willpower to achieve your goals deeper, despite this adversity, huh? So, what I mean to say is cultivate your mental toughness and the ability to overcome obstacles, hurdles, and these tests and these glaring uh, tools for us to. I think it's allowing us to to examine ourselves, right? To see our capabilities, pa. And I thank God for this opportunity. Think of your career in entrepreneurial way. If one door closes on you, look for another, right? Look for another door to kick down the door and get into the window. So this was what I was expecting, right? But anyway, so layoffs, corporate restructuring, takeovers, reorganizations, relocating jobs to lower cities and foreign countries will be commonplace. To adopt, you should be fluid, open-minded, and always on the lookout for a new job or career. Don't look down on any type of job and keep all of your options open. All right. Success may not come easy. Okay, like it or not, it is our time to rise above all of the problems we face and what we have. Okay, we won't have the luxury of complacency. No, please don't misinterpret this as discouraging. It is a complete opposite. It's a call to arms to empower yourself in the face of adversity. Okay? So how do we do that? Let's okay. How do we do that? Success may not come easily, all right? There will most assuredly be temporary setbacks, big big defeats, discouragement, embarrassment, humiliation, and even failure, right? To succeed in our new environment, you must set yourself apart. You must try to show or showcase something or highlight something about you that most people don't really have, right? To succeed in this new environment, you must set yourself apart, hyper focus your sights on your goals, and after them with every and achieve them with all your might and as hard as you can work for it, right? Okay. So we wrap up our segment on how to survive in this pandemic. Okay, we already told the audience what businesses are proliferating. Ito yung nakita niyo sa screen, Zoom, Airbnb, Homestay, Lala Move, mga tandem bikes, of course. Those are making money. Okay, so think about seeing this wild, so having this in mind, okay, we just have to make sure again that we adapt to the times. The companies that are considering to maybe make their employees work from home, yan ang mangyayari sa taon na to, and days to come. So adapt for businesses na mag-umpisa pa lang. Adapt to the present situation, the needs of the people. Number 2, go digital, importante. And of course, check your finances and your investments. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Maraming salamat. Happy Friday, everyone. Please keep the faith, hope, and love alive all the time. At ang init-init, mag-hydrate. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much and have a good weekend.
Inyong natunghayan at napakinggan ang mga makabagong pamamaraan sa mundo ng online sa pamamagitan pa rin ng Broad Streamcast Communicators. Hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat po.